Today, on Chai with Rai, I'm joined by a dear friend, an exceptional academic, and someone who has turned employability into empathy, Dr. Belgin Okay Somerville. From psychology to policy influence, she has shaped how we think about youth, careers, and purpose. Belgin, it's such a joy to share this cup of chai with you. Now, my first question to you, Belgin, is we both spend so much time with young people, and I've seen firsthand how passion and pressure often collide in their lives. Back in your student days, from Nottingham to Koch, what were you really chasing? Clarity, curiosity, or a bit of an escape? I know, for me, it was curiosity and passion disguised as rebellion. What was it for you?
Himanshu, let me first of all say this is so nice to be here. I am Indore. This is my third time now, so it's brilliant to be here. Thank you for having me. Now you're making me reflect back so many years ago. I think if I go back to when I was younger, certainly curiosity was a driving force, and I think that stayed with me. But I think there was a lot of exploration as well. Clarity, I would struggle to associate clarity with my path, but certainly curiosity and I guess seeking joy in the things that I do.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, I rely heavily on music, yoga, books, and quiet reflection to stay sane. What about you? What anchors you outside academia? Is there a ritual, hobby, or habit that restores you when everything starts to feel like a deadline? And what would you advise the youth today to stay sane?
To stay sane, okay. My anchors, actually there's overlap. So books are included in my anchors. So is yoga as much as possible. Although I'm not sure if you would classify what I do as yoga.
No, it certainly
That's
is.
another
it certainly
question.
Is. And in fact, I know it as a matter of fact that you take books to the spiritual garden of I Am Indore and read them there.
That's it. So another anchor is gardening, actually.
Wow.
I love watching things grow, and as much as possible in Scotland, obviously. And my kids are actually quite an anchor to pull me away from deadlines and everything as well. And you also asked for young people today how to stay sane.
Yeah.
It's a tough question. I think, judging by my experience, I guess I could say kind of learning to be on your own, learning to be happy in your own company. And that includes not looking at a phone or a screen or anything. Learning to be content by yourself, I think, is a good way to keep sane.
Yeah. No, in fact, that is what we were discussing when we were walking up to the studio as to how the younger generation seems to be spending so much time on their cell phones, on all of this digital equipment. Do you have any advice as to how can we get them off them?
It's inevitable because our lives are so much on our screens now. You know, everything we do, we can do on our phones. It is inevitable, but I think just being mindful of it, because there's now also a lot of research showing, as well as, you know, the positive sides of spending so much time with technology, but also reconnecting or connecting with nature or with your social life, with the actual people. And I'm aware there are individual differences here, speaking as a psychologist.
Absolutely.
So not many people will choose to do that or enjoy doing that. But if we can stay away, set ourselves, I don't know, certain minutes in a day that we spend on our phones. Minutes is a bit of a, maybe hours.
Absolutely.
Limits. It's easy to say than to be able to do it. But yes, being mindful that there's life outside of the screens, I guess.
No, you're right, because you know one of the things I've been suggesting to people is just like you do fasting. When you don't eat food for a particular day in a week,
Yes.
maybe you should do some electronic fasting.
Yes.
Set aside a certain number of hours, or maybe set aside a day which you spend only with human beings rather than spending it with them on the phone. Good suggestion. Now, Belgin, you and I have often spoken about the unconventional career paths before. When you chose psychology over something more traditional, how did your family react? Was there support, or should I use my favorite word, negotiation?
No, there was support. I was very, very lucky. My family supported me throughout. In fact, before psychology, I studied architecture for 2 years. And then I switched to psychology. And when you look at my family, there are no psychologists, there are no architects. My father is the first one from the family to go to university and leave the village and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so we have similar stories there as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there was a lot of emphasis on being educated rather than educated in what, if that makes sense. And one of the things that stuck with me growing up from the thing, of all the things my dad said, was whatever job you're doing, you need to enjoy it and you need to be able to do it wherever you go in the world. He didn't see the results of that coming, that I would be going all around the world and not stopping in Istanbul so often. But apart from, there was no interference in terms of what to study, what not to study, but there was emphasis on studying.
I mean, there's so much wisdom in those words that you need to enjoy it. Not many people think of it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you don several hats. So between your editorial roles, teaching, and leadership positions, where do you feel the deepest sense of impact? Not professionally, but personally.
Oh, okay. That's a tough one. Impact personally. I think across all of the roles, and maybe if I was earlier in my career, I would have maybe answered this differently. But now I'm being more conscious as to what roles I am getting into. And so one of the things for me when I'm getting into different roles is whether I can actually find something meaningful for myself. So it's hard to choose whether it's one or the other, teaching or research or editorial roles, as you say. But I do find impact in all of those things. Just maybe to give an example, I edit academic journals, but I'm also one of the editors, for instance, in a practitioner's journal where we are translating research to work psychologists use, and we work with work psychologists to write as well. So even in roles that we think are more kind of academia related, there is impact as well. But again, if I was at the start of my career, I think the answer would be different.
I can well imagine. I can well imagine.
Yeah.
And I think that's a nice segue into the next question. You know, academia is evolving and the corporate world is in a perpetual chase. For someone who studies careers and lives them across continents, what does meaningful work look like to you today? And by the way, has that meaning changed over time, like it has for many of us?
Yeah, I think it has. It's a great question again. And this is something I'm actually questioning, particularly these days, as part of a research project that I'm doing with young people. But for me personally, meaningful work has very much to do with this impact that we're talking about. So through my teaching, am I touching our students? Am I making a difference to students? And it's moments like when a graduate reaches out, or you see someone's achievements on LinkedIn and go, I've been into that person's life. That's quite nice. So I think meaning now is more about making that difference, however it is. Sometimes it's frustrating because that's the meaning that you're after. You know, through your research, it takes forever to achieve that impact. But whereas in earlier career, I think it was harder to define that. And I'm now doing this research study with young people. So young people as in 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds. And I've been asking them, what is meaningful work for you? And the answer I'm getting is the question doesn't mean anything for them yet.
Wow, okay.
So I'm beginning to think maybe what we find as meaningful work is something we develop as we experience work as well, with the different opportunities, successes, failures, trials and errors, etc. But I was very shocked to hear from the young people that the question doesn't resonate, because we hear in the media that, you know, this new generation is all about purpose, etc. And you ask the question and it just goes, it doesn't mean anything to me, the question itself. So this is something I'm thinking about a lot these days.
Yeah. No, I guess everyone is trying to anchor their success somewhere, because when I have similar conversations, I do see that in their earlier stages, they try to anchor their success vis-a-vis other people.
Yes, yeah.
He or she achieved this. How am I doing vis-a-vis this person? But
Yeah.
I think as they grow in their career, they start looking at and defining themselves through their purpose
Exactly.
and not comparisons anymore. But it'll be very interesting to see as to where are they headed right now, because even I'm surprised at the fact that this
Yeah.
question did not resonate with them.
I am going to follow up. This is
Absolutely.
definitely in my plans to follow up. Again, curiosity, your first question.
Absolutely. That has to drive research. Absolutely. Belgin, now it's time for the rapid fire.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And you're not supposed to think. Just answer what comes to your mind.
Okay.
A city you would move to with zero hesitation. And why?
Brussels.
Uh-huh.
It reminds me of Istanbul on a smaller scale.
Interesting. The most non-HR thing about you.
Oh, this is hard. Non-HR. I need to think about things. Gardening?
Uh-huh.
Me as a gardener? It's quite a non-HR thing.
Yeah, HR is unlikely to tell you to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
What were you like as a teenager in one word?
Annoying, now that I reflect on it.
Okay.
I thought I was cool, but from where I'm standing, it's annoying.
Right. Okay. If you could take a sabbatical just for joy, what would you do?
Read and travel at the same time.
Almost similar to what I would do, perhaps, except that I would want to travel and climb a mountain and then read that.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Coffee with a theorist, wine with a friend, or silence with yourself? What wins?
Oh, not the theorist. Not the theorist. The other two. It's hard to choose between wine with a friend and silence with myself. So there's a time for wine and there's a time for silence. So
All right, well
Yeah.
played. One life skill you think universities should actually be teaching?
adaptability.
Very much, I guess. Very much. What did you dream of becoming before psychology found you?
Architect.
Interesting. Interesting. First big purchase after your first real paycheck.
I think I bought dinner for my family. That's a big purchase. I'm not very good at shopping or buying things, so I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, but that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Dinner for the family. What's your secret rebellion? Ignoring emails, skipping meals, or silent unfollows?
Ignoring emails.
Interesting. One belief you had in your 20s that now makes you roll your eyes.
Belief. I thought smoking was cool. That was a mistake.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most unacademic thing you still want to learn purely for joy?
Tennis.
Interesting. Nice. Final one. How does it feel to be at Chai with Rai and at IMI?
I feel like a celebrity, I have to say. This is great. I mean, I've seen other videos, never thought I would be here, so it's a privilege. And I love being in IIM Indore. This is my third time, as I said, so
Absolutely.
looking forward to the fourth. No pressure.
Absolutely. And we are looking forward to seeing you more frequently as well, Belgin.
Hopefully.
Belgin, thank you very much. It was such a pleasure having you here with us.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. It's
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.